When we think of a federal manhunt, we probably picture something straight out of a movie, right? SWAT teams, flashing lights, a high-speed chase. But the truth? It's a lot quieter. It begins almost silently, with you becoming a number in a system that literally never sleeps. So how does it really start? How do you go from being a ghost, just a face in the crowd, to being the single focus of a federal task force? Well, the answer isn't about being found. It's about being connected.
And that's really the core idea here. Every little thing you do, every digital whisper, is a point on a map. Law enforcement's job isn't to find a needle in a haystack, it's to connect the dots until you're the only dot left.
And it all starts right here, at level 1. At this point, you're not a priority. You're not even really a person to them yet. You're just a case file sitting on a desk somewhere. So let's say you hit a small-town bank. The FBI has to open a case. It's a federal crime. But you are just one of maybe 40 other cases that some overworked agent is trying to juggle. They'll run your face through recognition software, check a few databases, but if nothing pops up right away, they move on. You're just paperwork. So this is a really crucial point to understand. Being technically wanted means you're that guy on a poster in the post office that, let's be honest, nobody actually reads. You could live like this for years, as long as you keep your head down. But actively wanted, that is a whole different world. And here it is. This is your critical window, about 3 weeks. For those 3 weeks, your case is pretty lukewarm. If you don't make any obvious mistakes, bragging to your buddies or suddenly buying a sports car, you can totally slip through the cracks. The system is incredibly powerful, but it's also completely overloaded. But here's the thing. Very few people actually stop. Greed, desperation, it always kicks in. And that's when you graduate to level 2. That's when the invisible trail you've been leaving starts to become, well, visible. What's so interesting is that it's not the individual robberies that get you noticed. It's the pattern. See, humans are terrible at being random. The FBI knows this. So a small task force, maybe 4 agents, gets assigned just to you. They even give you a cool nickname, like the Hoodie Bandit. And this is the main tool they use to find you, your digital exhaust. It's this trail of data you don't even realize you're creating, and it's exactly how they start to build their case against you. You think you're being careful, but you just checked Google Maps near a potential target. Your phone pings a tower. That's it. The FBI gets a data log of every single phone in that area. After the next robbery and the one after that, they just cross-reference the lists. And suddenly, 3,000 phones become 50, then 10, and then just 1. Yours. And this is the moment everything changes. You make a mistake. A big one. A mistake that elevates you from just a regional nuisance to a full-blown federal priority. You get violent. Let's say a security guard reaches for his weapon, and you pull yours first. He survives, but you are no longer just a thief. The task force instantly triples in size, and a dedicated intelligence analyst is assigned to do nothing but build a complete profile of your life. Then, money gets involved. Your face is now on billboards with a $25,000 reward. See, you're not just a case file anymore. You're a public threat, and now there's a very powerful incentive for anyone to talk. And the tip that breaks the case, it's rarely a random sighting. It's almost always personal. Your ex sees the surveillance footage on the news. She doesn't recognize your face, but your stance, the way you hold the weapon, it's a tiny detail only someone who knew you could ever spot. And within hours, the FBI is knocking on her door. Now they have a name, your name. And this is the moment that quiet, data-driven investigation explodes into a full-scale, active manhunt. Every digital door just slams shut. Your bank accounts are frozen solid. Every family member, every friend you've ever had is interviewed. You are completely cut off, sleeping in cheap motels in Missouri, paying with dwindling cash, trying desperately to just disappear. But you're running out of money, which means you have to take another risk. So you pick a tiny town, population 800, thinking you're off the grid. Big mistake. The bank has a brand new security system. It doesn't just see your face, it analyzes your gait, the way you walk. 17 minutes after you leave, the FBI has a match and your location within a 100-mile radius. You have no choice. You ditch the car and run for the woods. And this is it. The final stage. The chase is no longer digital, it's primal. You're a fugitive, in the dead of winter, stripped of everything, just fighting for survival against an enemy that has every single advantage.
You survive for days on nothing but granola bars and melted snow. You're too afraid to light a fire because the smoke will give you away. Meanwhile, they have dogs that can track your scent for miles and helicopters with thermal cameras that can see your body heat right through the trees. It's not a fair fight.
You run until your body just gives out, shutting down from hypothermia. The dogs find you first. You can hear them baying through the trees. Then come the tactical units. There's no dramatic shootout. 15 months on the run ends with your hands zip-tied behind your back, your face pressed into the frozen dirt, and the roar of a helicopter right overhead.
The end isn't some big explosion. It's a quiet process. You just trade one identity, the hoodie bandit, for another, an inmate number.
The evidence against you is overwhelming. This isn't a movie, it's a sentencing hearing that lasts solid 20 minutes. Your public defender lays out the choice. And it isn't freedom versus prison. It's risking death in a cell versus the certainty of spending most of your remaining life there. You take the deal. 71. That's how old you'll be when you get out. Your name becomes a number, and your life becomes a routine inside concrete walls for the next 40 years. And your name? It gets removed from the most wanted list, but the list itself, it never gets any shorter. There's always a new face, a new crime, a new person who thinks they're the one who can outsmart the system. But they can't. They're just another data point, waiting to be connected.